Welcome, seekers of truth. Tonight we enter the temple, not one built with stone and mortar, but one whispered into existence through mystery, intuition, and ancient knowing. A place where the veil is thin, and the boundary between the mortal and the eternal dissolves into silence. There, seated in stillness, eyes closed or perhaps gazing beyond time, dwells a figure, both feared and revered. The Oracle. Let us begin by setting something straight. The Oracle is not a fortune teller, not a performer with crystal balls or carnival cards. No, the Oracle is something much older, much deeper, a sacred conduit, a living threshold between the realms of man and the voice of the unseen. In ancient times, oracles did not predict. They revealed what already was, hidden, encoded, waiting to be seen. They did not command the future, they spoke with the voice of fate, or destiny, or divinity itself. To approach the oracle was not casual, it was ritual. It was terrifying because to ask a true question is to risk a true answer. Perhaps the most famous oracle of all was the Pythia, the high priestess of Apollo at Delphi. Seated above a fissure in the earth, she inhaled vapors and fell into trance. Her voice, strange and fragmented, was interpreted by priests into riddles and prophecies. But even in riddles there were power. For in the esoteric traditions, truth is not handed down, it is unearthed. The oracle forces the seeker to look inward. She mirrors the question, not just the answer. She is not a giver of information. She is a mirror of the soul's readiness. In Hermetic and Gnostic schools, the oracle is the embodiment of Sophia, divine wisdom, an emanation of the eternal feminine that sees with the eyes of the cosmos. In Kabbalistic thought, her energy resides in the Sephira of Bina, understanding, the womb of form where divine insights begins to shape into structure. She is the one who holds the keys to gnosis, not intellectual knowledge but direct communion with divine intelligence. She speaks not just to the mind, but to the bones, the spirit, the hidden knowing that lives inside us all. In this sense, the oracle is not just a person. She is an archetype, a function of the universe itself. She appears wherever sacred questions are asked in sincerity. Esoterically, oracles are not here to comfort, they are here to initiate. She stands at the threshold between ignorance and understanding. To hear her is to be changed forever, and like the Sphinx in myth, the oracle tests your worthiness, not with violence but with revelation, because here's the truth. Many ask to see, but few are ready to look. The oracle knows this, and so her words are cloaked in poetry, paradox and symbol, not to confuse you, but to awaken your inner translator. For the oracle never really tells you the answer. She unlocks the one already inside you. In nearly all traditions, oracles are women, not by chance but by essence. The feminine current in mysticism is the current of receptivity, of channeling, of becoming the vessel. The oracle is not a loudspeaker, she is an open channel, emptied so that something higher can flow through. And yet, this has made oracles both sacred and dangerous. For those in power often fear that they can't control, and the oracle by her very nature cannot be owned. She speaks with the authority of something greater than kings, greater than temples, greater than laws. She answers to the unseen, and that is power. And now the twist. The oracle is not only out there sitting in temples or speaking in riddles, she is within you. That still voice, that sudden knowing, that dream you can't forget, that sentence you heard once and never stopped thinking about. The inner oracle lives in the space between thoughts, in the breath you didn't notice, in the silence before the yes or the no. To hear her, you must become the temple. You must ask not to be comforted, but to be shown. So if you are a seeker, if you crave truth, not the soft, polished kind, but the kind that burns and births, you must find the oracle. Whether in another or in yourself, the key is the same: humility, sincerity, and willingness to be undone. Because once you ask, the answer will come. So, if you are a seeker, if you crave truth, not the soft, polished kind, but the kind that burns and births, you must find the oracle. Whether in another or in yourself, the key is the same: humility, sincerity, and the willingness to be undone. Because once you ask, the answer will come. Not as thunder, but as a whisper. Not as instruction, but as an invitation. And once you hear her voice, you will never forget it. If this journey stirred something in you, if you are drawn to the sacred, the symbolic, and the unseen, subscribe to the channel for daily uploads that open the inner eye. Every day another step into mystery. Remember, the oracle doesn't just speak, she waits for you. Thank you.